Okay, so I think now I'm finally getting to show some of the benefits of the camera I've got to work with as I continue to learn how best to use this camera and its curious little clampy thing. Anyway, I hope that view is pretty good. We're gonna clean all along in here. We're gonna do it with alcohol, my favorite, and you know what, the microphone is pointing right at me now, so I bet you my voice is going to get pretty clear here, so I'll maybe drop down my tone. So we'll start at this end here. I remember the only part, of course, that really matters is right where the slide action takes place. Cleaning the rest of it is not so important. Yeah, see that come off there? Maybe, I don't know if you saw that or not. Okay. I could use some abrasive tools on this. Burnishing tool, stuff like that. What's happened here? Oh, something getting caught. Oops. Something kind of funny about how that mechanism operates. Probably just more dirt caught in there. Yeah, see, it's not. It's really frozen. How come that's happening? Oh my gosh, it's just because nobody's pushed it in so long. These ones are good. This one's so-so. This one's really, I think that's all it is. It just hasn't been operated for so long. Wow. Okay. Let's just keep going on this. Because this is a pretty cool feature. Now each one of these is tuned separately. It's got a capacitor sticking out the back and a coil adjustment. It's got both the capacitor and the coil. That's kind of interesting. Hope I got some instructions on how to do this properly. Usually each one of these is tuned for a different range of the band. You can't tune any part of the band on any one of these coils, usually. So it kind of makes sense. You're going to pick 5 stations across the band. Why build great big coils and capacitors and stuff and a complete tuning system when you can just kind of focus on the focus one of these on one part of, the lower part of the band, and as you move up different parts of the band. I'm going to hit this with a lot of cleaner afterwards. That'll probably loosen up the mechanism quite a bit. But this has been sitting high in the radio, and if you remember, it was just coated in dust. High in the radio where no one's ever taken it out before to clean it. It's looking pretty good now. Q-tips just about had it. Okay. But guess what? I think there's a bunch of switches on the back. Those look even more egregious. That's interesting. These are the ones that are facing down, so you don't really expect a lot of dust to build up. Look at all this dust in here. I'll just use up my Q-tip on it there. start with the other end on the Q-tip. Oh yeah, this is kind of egregious. Now, why would it be dirtier on the bottom than the top? And I would take a guess that there's a convection of air coming up from the warm radio, flowing up into this part. Look at that. There's a switch contact that's bent right up and off, and there's a wire connected to it. A wire connected here, and this, oh yeah, this switch contact here is bent right up. So, you know, that might be a problem. Maybe that's on purpose, or maybe it's a problem. Yeah, this gum and whatever it is that's on here, there's enough of it to completely open circuit these switches here. Pretty sure of that. And a new Q-tip. Probably better cleaners than alcohol. You know, contact cleaner itself. One thing I like about alcohol is it's, as far as I know, it's pretty safe stuff to use. It's not poisonous as such, and evaporates completely. It's not too hard on materials, as far as I know, so you're not likely to melt some plastic with it or something like that. So I kind of like alcohol. Fumes are not particularly bad for you, as far as I know again. No cancer-causing agents in alcohol, as far as I know. So that's why I like to use alcohol. You can spill it all over the place, it doesn't matter. Cheap and whatnot. Okay, so I think I got those guys cleaned up. There's not much I can do underneath the clip. I'm just trusting that there's enough abrasion in the switch itself. Can't forget about this guy here. This guy right here. You know, I wouldn't care much about it, except there's a wire connected right here. It looks like it's connected right to that and nothing else. So why would they bring a wire all the way up to connect to a switch that they then bent open? That doesn't make sense, does it? So I'm willing to bet 25 cents that is a problem. We'll have to deal with it at some point. But I certainly wouldn't bend it down now on the assumption that it needs to be down there, because maybe it doesn't, and that would be a problem being introduced. Now, did I get all these switches here? I think I did. I think we're all ready to go. Well, I was going to hit them with this release all stuff here. Okay, let's do that. Yuck. Not exactly spraying in there, is it? Controls are working very nicely now. Moving nice and smoothly. Snapping back nicely. Wonderful. Let's mop some of that excess up there. We'll leave it on there like that. Flip them over. And mop up the excess here. So I would be really surprised if these switches cause us any trouble now. Except the one that's bent up. So, what do you say we hook them back up and see what we got? There, can you stand being sideways? Not the best way to use the camera, is it? I think from here, I can take Mr. Camera. And, what's going on here? He's hooked on something. Sorry about that. I got just enough wire to get kind of the sweet spot on my shop here. But none to no excess. Okay, so we'll place this guy back here. We'll plug him in down below here on the this side. We'll leave these wires out for the moment. And okay, so as long as we don't have this set to push button down here, we should be okay. Ready on the power. Ready on the power. Checking everything over. I think I'm going to put you up there. So you get a little bit of a better shot from here. Ooh, a little cap full of alcohol I don't want to spill. Move this just a little more over. Antenna's connected, plugged in, ready to go. These wires still off. Power on. Power on. Here we go. I still don't expect the radio to work. I think there's something more wrong in the front end, but we have to eliminate these other kind of mundane problems one thing by one in order to have some certainty about stuff. Okay. That's not very good. That's not so good, but it sure is different than what we had. Funny things on this volume control here. Sounds like nothing there. Ooh, the band switch sounded like it was switching bands. The volume control and the tone control still a little crummy. Oh, there's that thing again. Always in the same spots on the band dial. Still got a closed eye. I wish I knew what those are telling me. I mean, they're telling us something about this radio. See, I think they're equally spaced on the tuning dial, these tones. Listen. So that suggests to me we're hearing something is oscillating, and we're hearing the harmonics of the oscillation. And that hum is in the radio too. So I haven't tested these other periphery tubes. I'll do that next. Okay, let's go on to push button. Okay, we're in push button, and we'll push one. Still a ton of noise coming from this thing. Now, could it be that bent switch up here? Yes, it could easily be that bent switch because these are the lead wires. Pretty darn noisy right in here, isn't it? Let's investigate this a little closer. So what we're really curious about is what's going on right up in here. So here's the wires coming up from down below. Okay, there's only two. Well, maybe there's a third one down there. No, I think there's only these two wires. They're certainly fed to the audio. Let's push this button. That turns on this audio input. Click, 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 click. These are all messages. I'm not understanding them. I don't mean Morse code messages. It looks like this switch is actually not just an upper part pushing down, but there's a lower part reaching up, like it's a pincer. So this is still making contact here. See? So the fact that this is bent up doesn't mean anything. How did it get bent up? Probably got caught on something, guy's sleeve or who knows what, got yanked up. Who knows? Doesn't seem to be important though. So we're probably hearing, I'm going to guess, the effect of either a defective tube or a defective capacitor causing that clicking that you're hearing. Well, I don't see anything else we can do up here at all. Put these wires back in here. But I don't think they have any effect on this setting. Slowed it down. It just goes to show you, everyone, don't listen to anything I say. Because my good ideas are crap. Okay, now I think I got these correct. Now what? That's what we want. Okay, we don't want any of that clicking nonsense. We want a nice hum to come through when we touch the audio input like that. So, let's go back on radio. I believe the tuner won't do anything now. Now some of these radios, from what I understand, you have to have it tuned in the area or something. I don't believe it. Still funny things going on with this knob here. Is it the knob? Or is it just me moving the whole radio? It's me moving the whole radio. Okay, well, I'm not sure that that's a significant problem anyway, the noise. I'm not sure that's keeping the radio from working. So let's go off of push button. We're back on AM radio. There's funny volume control. Likes to make noise when you turn it down, but not when you turn it upwards. Anybody want to hazard a guess on why that would be? Up, down. All these things are hints on stuff, and you know, I don't know the hints. I don't know what it's hinting at. And the wind is just howling outside. Wow. Ain't no radioing yet. So I think the next step is we got to test these remaining tubes. I think that we're foolish to go any further without doing that. Yeah, the radio agrees. Did you hear that? So I'm going to, I think I'm going to test them off camera, and then I'll give you the result when I'm done. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.